Today's Tuesday, May 28th, it's the Conservation Commission meeting. It's 5:10. We're gonna call the meeting to order. Adam just called the roll formally, so we'll have it on tape.
Yeah. Chairman Collins,
Here.
Chairman Martinez,
Yes, here.
Commissioner Almidas, he's not gonna be here. Commissioner Miller. Here. Commissioner Jones, not gonna be here. Commissioner Ryan is also not gonna be here, and Commissioner Bonjourni here. All right.
Okay, we have a quorum and we have one item, which is the notice of intent filed by the city of Springfield for Harry Tubman Park, which was reviewed very well last time. If any commissioners have any additional questions, if not, what have you prepared, a standard order? There were no special orders.
No, yeah, it was just a standard order of conditions that were gonna be prepared. We did have one question that came in last week. Dan and Patrick, you guys can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so
I can hear you.
Thanks for making it, guys. I just had a question from somebody who was concerned about after the project is done, what is the parking situation going to be? How is that going to be handled? Is it just going to be on the road, or are there additional spots? Somebody was concerned about, too many people parking near their houses or congestion on that road.
Mm-hmm. It's unchanged from current. The park currently doesn't provide any on-site parking, and visitors, it's, as a neighborhood park, the user group is largely residents who live within walking distance, and it's outside of the current scope of the project to provide additional parking spaces. The proposed park improvements for this project are largely replacing and updating existing program elements that are already present on the site.
Okay.
So we didn't feel that it would generate additional traffic.
Okay.
Do you know if there happens to be a handicap parking spot just outside the park on the street?
Not on Hickory Street. I don't think that there would be any designated accessible parking spaces directly adjacent.
I'm just wondering, we should ask DPW, since we're putting a
Yeah.
handicap fishing ramp, Doc, to see if they could designate a handicap parking spot where somebody would be able to have access. It's really not part of our project, but I think as a courtesy, we can ask DPW if they do that, because it makes sense.
I don't even know, I don't think there's parking on that street. Is there?
Not
I
in
think-
the vicinity of this site anyway.
Oh, no, there is, oh, okay.
Okay.
But there is the way the park is when you're coming up, there is, and I think it's still city property adjacent to the park. I have to look at it again, but I think there is on the other side of the fence.
Yeah,
But-
there's a vacant lot adjacent to the site.
Right.
And it's unknown if that becomes part of the park in the long term. I think that there may be,
It may not be for parking, but at least handicap parking. But that park, I mean, every time I've driven by, and I drive by there quite often, there's always people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they must be finding some place to park, or it's just neighborhood, as you said.
Okay.
Then I think that adjacent lot belongs to Springfield College.
Yeah, it is. Yes. It
Well,
does.
that could be a good neighbor thing. Just
They-
enough for
Do
park
those
charge.
things. If they have no immediate plans, they've been willing to do those things in the past.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. But none of this has to do with the order, so if there is a motion to issue a standard order of conditions,
I'll make a motion to issue the standard order of conditions.
I'll second it. We better do the roll call since one is on Zoom.
Yep. Chairman Collins,
Yes.
Chairman Martinez,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
and Commissioner Bonjourni.
Yes.
Okay, so that's all set for them. What's
And
part-
Patrick and Dan, I apologize for keeping you.
That's okay. No problem.
Thank you guys for making it. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commission.
Have a good
Have a
night.
good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So what's the information for
Yeah.
Parkerville?
So it's just the homeowners there called, they have a large oak tree. They got some limbs hanging over the house and they were just requesting a prune because the whole tree itself is not leaning over, but portions of it, so kind of the limbs, few of the limbs are. So I went out there and inspected it. It's quite the large oak tree. So full removal, I don't feel is necessary, but maybe just the pruning of some of the limbs. I feel like that could be leaning over the top of the house. I feel like could be a good thing, because the guy's worried about some of the limbs falling down in his house, taking out part of his fence.
Is the tree, where's the tree? Is it on their property?
It's on conservation.
It's on
property.
conservation property.
Yeah, by about probably 6 feet, yeah.
Is it a healthy tree?
Yeah, it's an otherwise healthy tree. Like I said, the main trunk and stem of the tree are not directly leaning over the house, but part of the limbs are on the back side of it. So he's concerned, the next storm that might come through, one of the limbs could fall down in his house.
So is he looking to do it himself or are they looking for us? to
He's
do it?
looking for us to do it, yeah. So,
Cause you have the right to trim anything that hangs over your property. Right?
Yeah.
I just, not that I'm mean, but what kind of precedent are we setting for all of the property that we have if we're gonna get into the business of trimming trees?
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you guys think? It's a
don't know.
step beyond where we've gone. We do dangerous trees and stuff like that and take them down.
I would
Yeah.
say you're more than welcome to trim sections on your property where you're on your own back.
Especially if it's especially if it's a healthy tree.
Right.
It would be one thing if it's a dead tree and we may have to trim or cut it down anyway.
right.
But if it's a healthy tree and he has the right to trim his own, then I'd say let him trim.
Okay.
Yeah, because that could get the park department, everybody could start getting requests, hey, come trim the trees
Yeah.
over my house.
Yeah.
Then, well, the Conservation Commission did it.
Yeah.
If it's healthy, I would say you could go ahead and trim them.
Give them the permission to.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And Adam, you could ask maybe somebody in the park, the forester to go over, just take a look at it. If he thinks that those limbs are not in danger, then you could, maybe he could talk to the resident and save him some money, just to say, because sometimes people think that just because it's a big limb, it's gonna fall in the next storm, but if it's an oak tree and it's pretty healthy, probably isn't gonna fall, but
Yeah.
that's the probably.
Yeah, I hear it.
It tends to come less of an emergency if you're paying for it yourself.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, okay,
And so that's the only other item that we've
yeah,
got.
that's the only other, yeah.
Okay, then a motion to adjourn. Is it?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
You have to go, because we're on Zoom.
Chairman Collins,
Yes.
Chairman Martinez,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
and Commissioner Bonjour.
Yes.
Okay.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.